Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are at Catskills, New York for this adventure, and we're going to do some snowmobiling, tubing, we're going to see New Year's fireworks, and we're going to find this hidden, mysterious waterfall. As you already noticed from the title, we are in Catskill Mountains today. We're actually going to be here the whole weekend. Today is December 31st, but it's been pretty mild out here. Like, we were afraid we're going to see a lot of icy conditions on the roads and snow, but it hasn't been that bad. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to, wintertime road tripping. It does get a little challenging at times, and a lot of things you have to consider. But like I said, it's not that bad out here at all. I'm just hoping we're going to have enough snow for the snowmobiling. So the town that we're staying in is Tannersville, New York. It's a small, trendy town. It's about 8 to 10 minutes away from Hunter Mountain Resorts, which is not far at all. It has a lot of good places to eat, and it's got nice place to get coffee from with some lunch. So it's a very again, it's a very small town, but it has a very interesting character. Every house or building looks different, and there's a lot of colorful paints, which I thought was pretty cool. And it's just there's a good amount of places to kind of visit here and just to kind of enjoy and hang out. We are at the snowmobiling place, which is literally right outside of town. We definitely locked out because we weren't sure if they're gonna have enough snow for the tour, but they actually did. When I called up the place, they told me that they probably at least have another day of the snow before it melts. So we're definitely in luck here. Just a little bit of history. The very first snowmobile was invented in Waterville, Maine in 1908, which is called Lambert Log Hauler. So it was kind of more of a train-like vehicle versus the modern snowmobile. But to give that invention the credit, it was the first vehicle that had skis instead of the wheels in the front. Now, the very first vehicle that was actually very close, I should say closer to the current snowmobiles, which was it was fully gliding over snow, was invented in 1922, and then in 1956, Polaris made something which is at least somewhat closer to what we have now as far as snowmobile. After a quick trainer lap around the backyard of the property, we are onto the trail. Now, one thing I noticed right away as soon as I hopped on the snowmobile is the throttle works slightly different. So, if you're used to a motorcycle, in my case would be our e-bike, so a lot of times you turn a little bit and you get going. So here you're actually pressing it, but you can't press it too hard or too soft because you won't have enough power, but you want to press it too hard because it will jump. So it took me a couple of seconds to kind of get used to it, but once I got the hang of it, it wasn't bad at all. It's really kind of, it's really, like I said, it's just different. That's all it is. I'm sure if you do a couple of times, this actually, I don't know if I mentioned this is actually our first time going on the snowmobile, so I guess it's just a part of the learning experience. But I'm so happy we actually have a decent amount of snow to go on. I mean, there were some parts of the trail you had the rocks exposed, so you definitely felt it once you go over it. Like when you're going over those rocks, it felt a little bumpy, but it wasn't. It was still enough snow to enjoy. And one other thing, like in this particular tour, they're not going that too fast, so you are, if you're a beginner, you kind of have ample amount of time to get used to the course. And they give you they do actually 3 laps of you. So, but I think by the end of this first lap, you'll be able to get a hang of it and keep up with the group. It does get a little narrow in certain sections. You have some branches on the side, so you have to be slightly careful. But again, we're not going that fast, so you still have enough space and time to maneuver. And here, those patches of rocks here, and so it does get a little bumpy. It looks like there's a lot more snow in the woods, but on the trails a little less because there are a lot of snowmobiles coming through here. I'm so glad there's still enough snow for us to ride on, because it's been a little warm lately. Our instructor told us that it was actually a lot more fun. It's a totally different experience when we get like a snowy day when there's a lot more snow. But this is still fun. I'm glad we actually we're able to do this. We got to a flatter section of the trail, so maybe I can speed up a little bit, maybe even get to 20 miles an hour. We'll see. Okay, I'm catching up to the Snowmobile ahead of me. Oops, I guess that's how you lose that GoPro. Luckily, I didn't go too far. Good thing I was able to grab it on time. It did not fall down into the snow. Be a little hard for me to attach it back to the helmet, so I guess I'll just have to hold it in my hand the rest of the trip. little tougher to turn now because I am holding the camera in my hand and this turn is a little slick. My hand is definitely getting tired, but I think we're almost at the end of the trip. Definitely had a blast. This was a lot of fun. We definitely worked up some appetite while snowmobiling, so now we're gonna grab some quick dinner and then gonna head out to Hunter Mountain Resort for some New Year's fireworks. I'm gonna say Tannersville looks slightly different at night. I'm definitely happy to see some nice holiday decorations here, and everything's kind of lit up. Judging by the amount of cars, it's probably a lot. It's a very popular town, and a lot of people staying around here. And I would say this town is pretty close to a lot of places. I mean, you know, everything within like 10, 20 something minute drive, so it's not bad at all. Oh, Hunter Mountain Resort looks a little empty here. That's the lobby of the hotel, but I guess everybody's out there watching fireworks. Next morning, we went to do some tubing at Windham Mountain, which is about 22 minutes from where we were staying at Tannersville. Not far at all. We were looking for something that we can all do together and be a little more safer than snowboarding, and tubing came up as one of the top searches for us, and it's actually, I'm glad we did. It was a lot of fun. We couldn't get tickets at Hunter Mountain because they were all sold out. So we actually went to Windham, which was it was a lot of fun too. I think Hunter Mountain one was actually a little large, a little longer, but this was actually just good enough to have fun, honestly. And you are coming down pretty fast, and I think it's, and I think the lines were a little shorter than at Hunter. That's what it looked like. So that's a big thing for me because you don't want to be waiting online. So we did. I think they give you about 2 hours, but you do have to wait in line. So we went at least 4 to 5 times, and that was plenty enough time, to enjoy. For somebody like me, you've never been tubing, you probably wonder, how do you get up? How do you get up? How you go back up the mountain? And then I thought you would probably have to walk, but no, it's actually they have a nice little like a escalator here you can just get on. And that's, I guess, another, it's like another adventure, you could say, because you do have to balance a little bit to stay on it. If you ask, they can actually give you a spin. Oof, that's a lot of fun. Then you get dizzy by the end of the slope, but it's definitely worth it. Tubing was a great time. But our next destination is Olana Historic Mansion in Hudson, New York. We couldn't get tickets. They were actually sold out for the indoor tours, but we did walk around the grounds a little bit. The architecture of this mansion is amazing. This estate was home to Frederick Edwin Church, one of the major figures in Hudson School of Landscape and Painting. Church chose to build this mansion in the same very spot when him and Thomas Cole, the founder of Hudson River School, had sketched their artworks earlier. Based on what I found online, the name Olana refers to a Persian fortress. We would definitely have to come back here and take the tour. Today is our last day here at Catskills, so we're gonna look for that Kaaterskill Falls. So according to the map, we should be pulling up to the waterfall. we're pulling up to the waterfall, but I don't think that's the one we're looking for. There's another waterfall in the area called Byzantine, so that must be it. And there's no parking lot here. I see the trail, no parking. So let me drive down the road, because there was something on the map I saw there. Found the parking lot down the road, and there's actually a historic train station here too. And they have a map, and when we look at that map, there are actually a number of parking lots that we couldn't find on Google Maps. So we're gonna try to go around, follow the creek, and hopefully it will take us closer to another parking lot. Hey, we found the parking lot, and the view is stunning, even like just from the parking lot itself. So there wasn't a parking lot. There's actually a bunch of them around here, which you can't find in Google Maps. So the trail is a little muddier here, but if you look ahead, it looks very icy, and I think it's getting a little tricky now. I'm wearing my winter hiking boots, which are supposed to have better grip, but it's still tricky. It's definitely not easy at all. Wow, this bridge looks like a sheet of ice. We're going to attempt to cross it, but it looks very challenging. It is actually challenging, in fact. So now we're at the middle of the bridge now, just enjoying the nature, and you have to hang on to the rail because it is tricky. You don't want to fall down, that's for sure. And I've actually watched a number of people, you know, like almost tripping and falling trying to cross this bridge. And the rest of the trail looks actually even more trickier. See, those steps are all icy. We were going to go up that trail and then down to the lower part of the falls, but I think we're going to take the shorter trail because it's just way too challenging to go up there, too risky. So we're going to take that smaller trail, which is about 0.5 miles, supposed to take it to the top of the waterfall and then to the viewing platform. As soon as you get to the top of the waterfall, you see a lot of warning signs. We were just talking to the locals, and they were saying a lot of accidents happen here. I guess people, you know, try to be adventurous, try and take those pictures, and they get to the edge, and sometimes they don't realize how the accidents happen. So you have to be very careful here. You know, it looks very peaceful, but it's very deceiving once we. As soon as you turn to the right, you see this big drop. So it's about 260 feet to be exact. So that's pretty high up. So you would not want to be close to that edge. I'm going to attempt to get closer just to get a nicer shot. But it is, I'm not going to lie, it is a little scary in a way because, you know, it's a big drop over there. Huge drop. This is probably as close as I would get to the edge because I am pretty close, but I'm not right on the edge. Even like standing here feels a little scary because if you look down, you see this huge drop and water rushing down. I think I enjoyed the view from the viewing platform a little more. So if you look down there, that's what they have. Apparently, they have a swimming area there in the summer, so you can go there swimming. Right now, it's all covered by snow. But that's the lower part of the waterfall that we're not going to get to today because it is a little icy on the trail, so we don't want to take a chance. Wow, look at the upper left corner. There are actually people sitting there on the edge. Like, we were up there a few seconds ago, but we weren't like right on the edge. We're actually a little more down. So wow, they're sitting right on the edge. Wow, I don't know if I would do something like that. It is a little dangerous. But I guess everybody has their own limits. At this point, I think it's time for us to drive home. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.